Welcome to the Work with Grants weekly public strategy call. Yes, it is 10 o'clock, you all, so that means that we are live here on Tuesday, June the 10th. Thank you for joining us because it is a lot of activity going on. We are stepping into summer. You all are enjoying the changing weather. I can't necessarily say that it is hot and balmy over here on the East Coast, but we know that the winds are blowing our way, and they are always changing. So thank you for tuning in for this hour-long conversation in strategies. Look, yes, and we are going to definitely share with you some strategies and grants today, but also, as always, invite you back to our work site at workwithgrants.com. This is where you can actually access all of the grant resources that we share online. You can also access information. Take a look at our blog. See some of our previously recorded calls, as well as ways that you can support us through social media. Look, we definitely are using our tools to make sure that we are sharing our techniques. And guess what? We have more events coming up. So definitely check out our website in the event spot, because look, we've got a couple events coming up there in June. And if anyone is ready to get their grant projects on their their calendar, on their schedules for June 2025, these are definitely the ways to do it. Do you know, simply tuning into the call every Tuesday and capturing the information that we share with you, the tools, the headlines, when we're talking about the updates with what's going on with grants, you all are actually including and improving your grant plans for 2025. Because, of course, look, everything that we are going to share with you, of course, is about grants. But we're going to definitely use this time that we have to address some of the issues and the concerns that we hear going around in the community. And y'all know it is always something going on. So welcome to Tuesday, where we could talk all about it. But look, we also are opening up Thursday for our open house. You all can check out the calendar and sign up RSVP for that 10 o'clock spot, so that you can make sure that you've got your project in line and knowing what your next steps are going to be. This is the opportunity for our leaders and for our organizers to actually connect with consultants. You all can be invited into the Zoom meeting, and the link is online. You all schedule put the appointment on your calendar and get that online. And you will come into a space where you are talking to the consultant, so that we can make sure that your next project is planned appropriately, that you are also using the strategies of grants. We want to definitely support this and talk about how we are, our traditions of debt, because this is where we're going into the future. Look, we are taking a lot of traditions with us, although a lot of changes are coming. If you all are paying attention to the policy updates, the way that our communities are operating, you all know that there are a lot of changes coming as far as the automated activities that are coming your way, and these are going to be convenient for you. You all know we want more convenience in our community. We want to be able to just pass the buck to the next one that's in charge. That's what we pay these prices and these fees for. But guess what? If that is the convenience that we are trying to walk toward, well, that is absolutely the pathway that we're going to be growing for the future. So we're going to have some conversations about that, because, look, we want to add to some of those pathways and projects just a little change of plans, your plans or your traditional plans. And instead of going the way of debt, we want to go the way of grants. And look, yes, it is a difference. It is a big difference when you work with grants. So definitely join us on our Thursday open house and take a step inside. Come and join us and see what your next steps will be, because there's so many opportunities for you. We're not going to go over it on the call, but you have the opportunity 24 hours a day to go online to workwithgrants.com. Check out the resource. Check out the projects page. Yes, we are making updates to that, and we are trying to improve our program so that we can make it a little bit more engaging for our community and bring, you know, a lot more excitement to the projects that we have. And of course, we are focusing in on the term projects. So you all who are, you know, gathering with us on our Zoom call, because yes, we've opened up our Zoom call. Look, y'all, we are exploring our tools. We're not just exploring them, we are practicing them. And look, sometimes we don't continue with them, but this is the space that we allow our creativity to explore. Look, we do term projects. You can get a 5-day project set up with Work with Grants if you were just trying to get some feedback for a project. Maybe you want to get a compensation report or find out if you are making sure that in your line of program or where you're dedicating so many hours, so many of your working hours, you want to make sure that you're getting paid appropriately for that. Well, definitely you as a community member have the right to request a compensation report. Now, of course, there is a cost for that, but definitely go to our shop space and you can see a lot of the templates that are available that are there to lead you through the process that we support you with through our program. So look, we have an organized method here too. We invite you into our community, and Thursday, open the space so that you can learn more about it. So thank you for joining us here today, because look, it's a lot to get into. We're going to get into it. We have been capturing information ever since the last time we got on this call, because I don't think the information ever stops. So what are we going to talk about this week besides technology? I don't know if we're going to talk about anything other than that, because look, that is what is definitely being used in our community, whether it is the technology to connect you to each other, whether we are virtually connecting or if we are using the old tools of the phone and the phone tag. Because y'all know y'all don't answer your phones anymore. We all are screening our calls with the technology that we have been updated with, right? Most of y'all see the names that are coming across your lines when you are when somebody's calling in, and you all decide if you want to answer or not. And I understand that. We want to take our options and make sure that we explore the opportunities that we have. And some of that is to just stay silent. And look, you all will see that we even address those type of topics in our blogs online. So look, definitely share your thoughts with us. We want to get your feedback. And did you know simply adding your comments to our blogs actually presents your preparation and how you are positioning yourself to go after grants for 2025. Yes, a simple comment on our website, a simple comment on the blogs that we bring to support our community members. Let us know that you are active in your grant programs and that you are moving forward with completing successes. Share with us some of your tips. Share with us some of the strategies that you are utilizing, because we want to hear about that, and you can share that with us in our community. Look on the blogs. We've got a lot of engaging blogs online available for you to go through, and they're appropriate for teams, for leaders, and look, especially for our community members, because this is who we activate every day. We work to activate our community members with progress, but look, mostly with purpose. And that's where we definitely find the difference between, you know, how we operate when we work with grants and how we operate when we work with debt. I mean, look, should we just talk about it? Because this is where our community members are having conversations each week. We have been talking about the debt of America for a very long time. Like, we are getting ready. Many of us are in the vacation season. We're getting ready to go on vacation. And look, here at Work with Grants, we definitely do not want you to go into debt for vacation. But we know that you all have already used your tax returns that we were talking about earlier in Q1 of 2025. We were looking so excited to those tax returns, and some of you all even got bonuses. Yeah, you all paid off a lot of your debt with that because you saw the trajectory of where we're going in the future. You can see that it is definitely the benefit to pay the debt off right now before you have that interest accrued. Look, that is what is definitely going on. Are the interest rates rising? If you go to the bank, they'll tell you what those interest rates are rising. But this is the thing about with grants and the difference with debt. When you focus on your interest here and you're working with grants, look, you appreciate your interest, okay? You don't have to go to the bank to find out What is your interest today? What amount are they going to return to you on what you're giving to them? Because, look, that's what your interest is when you work with the bank system, when you work with debt management. And a lot of you all know that, look, these interest rates, these aren't necessarily to protect your interest. These interest rates, of course, are for the interest of whoever the lender is, because you're going to be getting that money back. You'd have to know how much you can charge. Look, and even these lenders even have operated with including additions over the debt. We call that the fees. We call that the management services. And, of course, the convenience. We have the convenience fees that we need to take care of because, of course, to get these services to you in every community, look, we got to charge you for it. But that is the traditions that we have walked with debt for many, many years. And, look, if you have planned your summer 2025 off of what credit card you were able to get approved for this year, we want to invite you in to kind of have a sit down. You definitely need to see some consultation about the management styles that we are applying to our program. Look, we even want to have the conversations about where you adopted that from, because we know that these have been proven. Hey, the way that we operate has been proven throughout many, many decades, many, many centuries. We actually model our pathways toward making sure that we are not just vacationing with debt, but look, we're educating ourselves with debt. We are also living with debt on a regular basis. I mean, how many of you all are looking for that new credit card to come in the mail or that approval for that loan so that you can have some transportation to just get back and forth to work? Okay, well, once you get that loan, are you calculating the maintenance that goes into not just maintaining the loan, but the value of what you are actually getting that loan for? We don't really talk about that, especially when it comes to the debt management styles and systems that we use. But look, here at Work with Grants, we want to talk about the changing of these systems. The ways that we have operated have become a tradition that we have become accustomed to here in America. And look, we're going to talk about it because I don't know if any other company, any other corporation is actually exposing some of the ways that we are actually implementing our processes for change. And look, many of us are still going to be going towards that debt because we know it's easy. We know that with your credit score, if you've paid a certain amount of money a month so that you can get your credit scores fixed, if you've paid a certain amount of money, because look, hey, maybe you just aren't going to get your credit scores fixed. You're going to take that higher interest rate that they're giving you. Okay, well, if you are used to operating that, we've realized that that tends to work fast and quick for us, and these loans can definitely benefit us for a short time. But what about the long-term stability? We're going to have these conversations about it because these are the conversations that our leaders need to explore. When our leaders are talking about, yeah, look, we're just going to just have a tax increase on the amount of the property fees, or we're going to implement a tax fee for some more gas over here, or any pleasure that they're going to have in, if it's an entertainment tax or a tobacco tax or whatever they're going to have, or we're going to definitely make sure that we expose our community so that we can raise those rates somehow because we need to get more revenue. That's what it is about. But look, here at Work with Grants, we want to talk about the responsibility behind some of the decisions that are being made. Look, they're visible in the headlines. You all can go check it out. You all go take a look at our news updates. If you go down to Work with Grants, scroll all the way down to the bottom, there's a green space where you will see the news and updates. Click on that line. And look, if you have some news that you want to share with us, definitely give us a call. Send us an email. Connect with us online. Join the community, because that is the best way for you to capture and track the feedback and your progress towards grants. Look, we have the whole platform here. We have the suggestion, and we're going to guide you through the process. So join us as we take this break. We're going to come right back and talk more about the debt that we are preparing for, and maybe we can avoid some of that too.